Your truck's so ugly. How ugly is it? Well, I'll tell you. It's ugly. How about that? That's how ugly it is. What's going on? Welcome back. I'm going to do some work on this truck. I've been working on this truck, and it's coming along pretty nice. I'm at the point now, though, where I have to do things before I build myself into a corner. I have to fight the urge to put in the driver and stuff like that. I need to get the windows finished. I've got the front one done, which is the toughest one. And I'm going to get the other windows done, so then I can get started on the interior, which I have the bits ready to go. It's kind of interesting how this works, but I want to show you. This is the 10-3, the new Axial kit. The lights are in it now. It actually drives really nice. I drove it earlier. It's definitely ugly, and it's a little top heavy. It's okay. Not everything is a super performer, right? But there's tricks. There's things I can do to make it behave a little better, but the departure and the approach is awful already, so it kind of is what it is. It's fine. I'm going to show off some things I've done on it, and then I'll get this off of here, and we're going to start doing the windows. So as some of you who know, yeah, I'm into this 1957 FC 150. So this model file did not have any hinges or the stuff on the back. The tailgate was just flat. So it's easy to just add on, you know, what you need and make it look like it's supposed to work. And then there's a little platform that I built to cover up the shock tower, and then an old grill where the screen would be for the engine on this cab over. There's some details to do. I got some more washes I want to do on the tail, on the truck bed, but like I'm digging it. And I'm modeling this after one that they've done a resto mod to, and they're rolling on big BFGs just like this. So I think that's kind of neat. So the 10-3 kit comes with the provisions for the clipless body mechanism that the Coyote comes with stock. So I'm going to show you that right now. I use that system on this one to mount it up. So while I'm taking this apart, I'll just go ahead and show you. So I made this little box here, and when you have old leaf springs you don't need, they're great for magnets, receiving magnets. So this is, I think, so neat. So this mechanism that you see right there, that is what the Coyote truck bed has. So yeah, repurposing and using what I got. So this new 10-3 kit comes with the shock tower side of that clipless mount. So all I got to do to take this body off on this one is pull this back and then slide it out. So I repurposed the I need to unplug the lights because I'm going to be into this one. So that is the Coyote mount on the front, and this is the Coyote mount on the back. So that's it. This is a 10-3 builder. Now what you're looking at here is a stock 10-3 builder's kit, the new one. And these different than the base camp kit a little bit. This tongue and groove piece and this bar and different shock tower here is what comes on the Coyote, and what comes in the 10-3 base camp. The 10-3, I'm sorry, not base camp kit, but the 10-3 new builders kit. So I'm like, let's use what I got. So that's what I did. Nice. Felt weird saying that. I got a reef servo in it. It's good to go, man. It drives nice. It is ugly, but what's neat about not messing with any of this chassis is I've got loads of opportunity to throw a different body on here. And like I could put this body on the Portal Coyote and it would fit because everything's in the same place, which I think is remarkable. So, you know, Portal with overdrive and a bunch of extra brass I could have on this one if I want. But there's tricks I can do to make this perform a little better. But anyway, chassis done. Drives nice. This is a 10-3 builder's kit put together. You can see the wire management's pretty decent. And where the battery goes is right there in that Coyote location. Nice and forward. Pretty sweet. The only thing I did is not use the front bumper because this thing I've got going. Pretty nice. So it's time to make windows because what I want to do is the driver and the seat and the dashboard. But once I get the floor in for the driver and all that stuff, I won't have any room to work anymore. So I kind of need to do the windows while I can. And what's fun about mocking things up is like, then you can just measure the space you need and like make the material you need. Like I print off a ton of bits to build things out of. This box is nothing but just shapes printed to size to get me what I wanted. And that's how I've done the floor and stuff too. In a perfect world, what I would do next time, and it depends how you slice it. And I'm not really good on the design software. I really am more hands-on. What I really should do is find out where I think the floor is going to go on one of these and print off just that section and make my floor ahead of time. But yeah, that worked out pretty good. I think pretty good. And there's things I can do too. If I didn't like the ride height, there's stuff I can do, like the shock tower provisions for the tongue and groove and this clicker in the back. I could space those up. I could space these up. There's a lot of opportunity to do things if I wanted to change it. So I'm trying to decide how I want to do the windows on this one. There's a couple options. I can just do a whole piece of plastic on the inside and kind of handle all of it. Or I can go one at a time and it's a little bit more precise and you can't hide how you glue them in. Like on this front window, the plastic is bigger than the window hole and it's glued in from the inside, which keeps the weather seal out here free of any kind of glue, and it looks all right, you know, for Polly Pocket trash box. So yeah, I a little bit ahead of myself. I got this middle piece here, which is higher than the rest of the floor, and that's what has to happen for the mechanism in the front, which actually made sense because otherwise I would have had to create something here to fill this all and create a way to connect it that way. But I'm like, man, let's use what I got. So what I typically am going to want to do on the windows, I won't have this window in, so I'll just have the front and that. On this side, I could do all three, and I could just back it with a piece of plastic and call it a day. But I think what I want to do is divide and conquer short fashion. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. And the back one will be easy. This is painted. Yeah, this is painted already. Rusty, a little patina action, but I will paint the weather seal on the back like I did the fronts. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more washes on it, but I'm pretty happy with it as right now, as it is. What's up, Dwayne? So what I do to get this window shape? Yeah, go big, bro. This thing's weathered up, painted up, sanded, wet sanded already. So what I do is an old technique from little kid class. What's up, Francis? Where I will do a rubbing of what I need and then transfer it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you. Get these windows cut to size. And once you make this side, you're basically you're done on the other side too. So now it's just art class. And you pencil over it, and the pencil really picks up the line of the opening super well. And that'll transfer nice onto the plexiglass. And the reason I'm doing this is because the passenger and the driver window, I don't need them. Really, I can get away without them. And so I'm going to do it like this. But yeah, just a little rubbing on these, and it really brings it out. And if I do the glass on the back, then the weather stripping and the wall thickness of the body, it's almost too much. So this will be a little bit more scalish. And I don't use thick stuff like this on anything that's curved ever, but on something like this, it's totally fine. I'm not sure I did that one good enough. We might do that one again. We might do that one again. This one took pretty good though. And if you're really slick, you can get the straight lines somewhere else. Nice. And then I'll cut it out. I'm going to do this one again though on the back. You can always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. Okay. This one's got so much round to it, I don't really care how it's on the plastic. Show it before pulling it off, please. Damn. There. Sorry. I think it was too late. But yeah, this is one way I have started to do this. And then this is pretty brutal, just 10 snips, but it works. So we'll see how close I get. And if it's a little tight, you can just I use a file to make things a little shorter, to sand them till they fit. And if you get one right, you got the second one too, the other side. And I want these to fit right in there on this one. It's a little big. but we're getting it. We're getting it. The idea is you get it close enough to write that it can hold itself in there. And if you're really slick, then you can get it from the back. But you get down to a point where you can't hardly cut anymore. It's too thin, what you're trying to do. Kind of like where I'm at now. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can file on the window. You can file on the window hole. There's a lot you can do to make it right. You can knock the corners down, which will help get it in sometimes as well. There's still quite a ways to go on that. Sometimes it's easier to file on the window frame itself. And in this case, it comes to a point instead of a flat spot. So I am going to file on the window, which will make it a little bit easier for it to have some surface area to glue to also. So yeah, that's what's happening. I can't really work backwards, guys, but this is what I'm doing. I'm going to take away part of that pillar right there. The one in the front, the one on the top, all three of these sides have a nice flat window style, and this is really thin. Like I say, it comes to a point. So that's going to be the easier part to sand off. And yes, the curve is in the windscreen. And the way I accomplish that is by having a piece. I did tape it off and get close. And then I cut a piece a little too big. And so on that, you go with thin stuff on stuff with curves. So when I'm getting this in here, I actually have so much slack on the short sides that it's coming back to here to a point on both sides, and I can kind of push it in against the window. So what I do first is I get you're not going to be able to see much, but I get the top and the bottom right first, and then I push those sides in and get them tack glued in there, and then I cut them clean. So I'm pressing the curve in there and gluing it. A little bit of heat doesn't hurt either, but you got to be careful not to overdo it. And whatever I file off, I'll have to touch up the paint there. Because I've already painted the weather seal. But it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I definitely got some ground to cover on this. This is how it goes, though. I don't know how else to do it. So this is what I do. But if it's baggy, it's really hard to hold it still. So ideally, you'll get it in there and it can hold under its own tension. But I feel like I have to get these windows in before I do. I at least want to get them to size. It depends how I end up deciding I want to glue them in or not. Yeah, I got a ways to go. Hurts my feelings cutting this stuff off sometimes. And like I say, once you get one right, it's a good template for the next one. But you're still going to have to work the other one too. No, I haven't really done a plane-centric live stream lately. I mean, every now and then I'll build one on here, but this is kind of what I've been up to these days. I like solving these problems. I don't have any problems to solve on the airplanes except for just finding time to do it. So this has been keeping me busy and pleasantly occupied. Super fun to watch, I'm sure. I may shift gears to something a little more exciting in a minute. That's getting close. That's getting close. It almost stays in there. Snips. This is the first weekend I haven't had anything to do on that bathroom remodel I've been doing. It's done. Hung the door last week. And my kids have all been gone on spring break. They're coming back late tonight. And so I just lounged around today. Finished up the chapter of John and got the book of John, and got 9 chapters into Acts today, which was awesome. Still got a ways to go on that. This is how it is, though. It's tedious. And that's not why I think that's... If I could print the windows, I would. But I don't know how to get them. I have clear, but it doesn't translate. I may experiment, though, with a chemical smoothing. If I can print windows and chemically smooth it where you don't see the lines in there, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But when you see somebody's builds, their labor's of love. There's a lot that goes into them. So I'm so close. It's staying put. You know what I'm saying? It's staying put. Do a little more on the window frame. Oh my gosh. It's so close. Yeah, Hubert. I had always wanted to, and I started on the New Testament months ago at this point, and with the intention of reading the whole thing. And I tried once before, and I started in Genesis, and then this last time I decided I wanted to try it. I was going to start in the New Testament. Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic, man. I mean, if you ever want to hear, I don't know if you're feeling like you're longing to hear his voice. I think that's a good way to do it. You're a pastor, aren't you, or something, Hubert? Yeah, Steve, Fred. It does remind you of scratch building. Oh, that's a good idea, Reckham RC. Whatever it takes to get it, I think is just great. I'm always better off. So is everybody around me. You know, like, you know, I feel the urge to apologize for being preachy, but I am not going to apologize. I'm not being preachy. I'm just sharing. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine. I could do a better job of it, and I apologize for that. But it's super important. I highly recommend it. And man, I grew up around it. So you feel like you know the stories. But there's always more to it. Every time you revisit, you see something different. And I'm not sure, and I want to say caveat with this. It's okay to want to understand it, but it's okay if you don't. The benefit for the act of doing it and the desire to understand and step alongside is, the benefit is hard to quantify. So it doesn't matter if you understand everything. Man, I'm still on one window. Can you believe it? Thank you. Yeah, I'm still just, I have not done any real cross-referencing, so to say. I'm just kind of, I hate to say chronologically because I'm starting in the New Testament, but chronologically with that. And the thing, you know, some people will learn or need reminded of is like, the New Testament is the Old Testament being fulfilled. Nothing contradicts itself in there. Pretty neat. This is why sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I'm doing the windows on the inside because I can get done quick if I do the windows on the inside. I'm still not there. Little file, little grind, little cut. You get to a point, what up, Chris? You get to a point where it's like, man, you're right there. You're close. Knock down the corners a little bit helps. Francis, yeah, man. Because there's stories you'll know or that are familiar. And then if you come across that story in your reading, you can't help but to have surrounded that with the context you were never given in Sunday school or Sunday morning. And they try to give you the context, but they got limited time to work with. Nice, Chris. I was telling my dad today, like I'm in Acts and I'm reading stuff that I know the story. I've heard the story. But if you were to have asked me yesterday if Stephen was stoned before or after the crucifixion, I wouldn't have known the answer. So context helps. There's faith, and then there's like all caps faith. And I think if you want all caps, you have to put in the work, and you can't rely, and I'm guilty of this. You can't rely on the guy Sunday morning to give you the steak and potatoes when you're still on baby milk at church. Sometimes it's kind of watered down for new folks and everything like that. So you want fed, you got to feed yourself. It's there. You just have to go at it. And there's a million things that can legitimately distract you. That's the point. Of course there is. It's the world we live in. So when you intentionally make the time, you'll get the reward. I'm guilty of it all. The same thing. And people get uncomfortable sometimes about this stuff. Well, I'm sorry if you are. I hope it stirs you where you want to find out about it yourself. Because I get it. Not everybody's going to believe things just because they're being told it. Well, just like Reading Rainbow says, read the book for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Right? I'm getting to the point where I can live with this window. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Awesome, Hubert. Theology is super interesting. You probably know, Wes Huff? Hobby belt sander, $48. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. You've heard of him? His specialty is the ancient texts. He's got a video series out there. He works for Apologetics Canada, and he's got a pretty significant presence online. He's been on Joe Rogan. But there's a series out there where they go to the places these manuscripts were found, and the series is called Can I Trust the Bible? And it's really good because he knows his stuff very well, I would say. And I appreciate that. And I love watching those discussions that he gets into with people. And I think he does a really good job of explaining things without being condescending. And the evidence speaks for itself. I think a lot of people on the secular side would easily parrot back what they've heard, which is that, oh, it's a translation of a translation of a translation. Well, it apparently is remarkably close to its original context and translation. Surprisingly so. And that's comforting. You know, they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls and they found like 2 whole books that didn't contradict anything. Pretty neat. All right. I'm saying this one's in, and it fits tight enough that gluing it's going to be easy. Check that out. I'll take it. There's a little bit of space at the top, but that's okay. That's awesome, Reckham RC. And that's how I kind of felt. That's how I found myself as well. Is yeah, I've had faith before I ever really knew what I was talking about, or I still don't know what I'm talking about. But um, when you're ready, he's there for you. And some of us are going to have to go for it on our own. Some of this whole social stuff that goes with church, that's cool if that's for you. It may not exactly be for me. Like when I go, like I find myself wanting to pull the pastor man into a room and get heavy talking about stuff. You know, like nice. Fantastic. There a bug on my hat. Get out of here, bro. I don't like bugs. Come on. There it is. We'll go ahead and just stick it in there. And this is tension fit for now. I should use it to trace the next one, though. It's not perfect, but it'll work. It's that front one there. Yep. That one's close enough. I'm going to trace it for the other side. I feel bad actually when I don't go. I'm personally in my own little quandary over Protestant and Catholic. My wife and kids are Catholic, and I grew up Baptist. And if you're familiar with that at all, you'll know where I'm coming from. I'm torn. So I don't go with them, but I'll go to our old church a lot of the times, non-denominational, or I'll sit here and watch it on, they stream it on YouTube. I'll watch it like that. But honestly, the best fulfillment is when I spend the time to sit there and read it myself. Is what I personally, where I'm at, get the most out of it. That might be upside down. Hubert, absolutely. I've been thinking about, I don't know how to go about it, but I don't know if I should create a Discord or something, but I'd be glad to talk kind of, I hate to say scripted, but like not on YouTube. I don't know. yeah, I can't help but be a little cognizant of alienating folks that I've got coming over here. I don't know, man. But I've been toying with that idea because it's what's up. It is what's up. And I think if you truly love people, you should be willing to be uncomfortable, you know? Uh, so there's that, which is why I'm letting myself go there now, even though I'm like a little bit wary. If that makes sense. One thing is, after you get these windows done, you don't know which is top and because they're not perfect. They're not like square. You know what I'm saying? These holes. Nice. It is more about the people, not the crawlers. I am kind of about the crawlers. But yeah, the people of it all is great. I used to do it. I didn't used to have buddies to do it with. I want to get this thing ready though for Beat the Creek. I drove it today, man. It was awesome. I just know if I wanted to film it today, but I was like, if I film this before it's done, I don't know if I'll ever film it again. So I'm like making myself get it done. How did I have that in there before, but now I can't get it? Crazy. I must be upside down or something. Well, I hope this is not the most boring, ridiculous show for you. I can fine tune this at a later date. All right, let's try to cut out the next one. I did just trace it on the other template though. What an idiot. No problem. Move the template. Ha ha. Ha ha. And you already know you got to cut inside the line, you know. Yeah, man. Thanks, Francis. I'm at a point in my life where I'm finally listening to some of the barometer that's always been there, but I'll admit it. When I was young, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this or are like the same. When you're young and you're trying to figure things out, and you're exposed to the scripture and the way, you might resist because you don't want told what to do. Because there are rules, there are ways you should be, and a lot of us don't want to hear it, you know, and it's tough. Um, it's tough. You got to really do it. You got to want it on your own, kind of. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm always a little bit off or a lot bit off. But what I kind of fell off track trying to say is that personally, I've spent a lot of time chasing stuff that doesn't matter at all. And I mean, the world's designed to keep you occupied doing those things. And that's where the intentionality has to come from, is that awareness. Sounds like the window just fell out the other side. Yep. Put you somewhere safe. Oh, nice. Sick, Chris. Nice. I like it. Yeah, I ordered 2 motors, and the one showed up yesterday, or the day before, and it's already in the rig. The 10.3, the new 10.3, it drove today with the bread box truck. And but I ordered one a while ago that I didn't think was ever going to come, like out of stock, but it shipped. So that means I need another chassis kit to put it on. And I'm like, I'm back to where I was, where I have an extra axle. And it's like, if I just get a couple things, I've got plenty of shock towers, you know, there's just a couple things I need to have a full one again without having to buy a full one. But it's like, do you go through all your stuff and try to inventory it? Or do you just go ahead and get another one? Chris, question. Would you get another 10.3 or would you buy a base camp builder's kit if you're doing it again? That one fits pretty good. What would you get? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm about to get another one, and I don't know if I want to go for the Coyote deal again or a base camp. I do love the solid rails and some of the stuff. You get the 10.3 again. I managed to work this one out, Chris. Let me show you. There's the Coyote. This is what bolts onto the underneath of the Coyote hood, and I've trimmed it down some. And then there's the mechanism for the Coyote tail, the bed, which I've mounted up. Bro, let me show you this. So this brand new body fits, bro. And I got this little box I made that hides it. When you don't know what to do with your leftover leaf springs, they're great for magnet stuff. Okay, so sanding this guy down a little bit. Yeah, I liked it. I like the 10.3. And if you buy the spare parts for the Coyote hood and click down deal, you get extra brackets and stuff like that. All right, Fred. Well, Chris, in this case, you're stuck with those Coyote shock towers and body mount systems in a way. And I'm like, let me see if I can use them. So I did. I bought those spare parts. I didn't steal them off my Coyote. But what that means is that this body can go on either chassis, because I didn't change anything on the chassis itself. It's the stock positioning. So this FC150 can rock on portal axle rig or straight axle rig, and vice versa with the Coyote body, or anything that you manage to make work on that system. And I located these bits on this truck, on that chassis, ride height, lateral, everything where it needed to be. So I didn't move anything, because you have a fresh slate on the truck you're building. So that's cool. I always try to knock the corners down a little bit. Dude, I have extra base camp shock towers. At least most of them. Right? Because every time you do, I have a whole extra set because when you do the pre-runners, you change them front and back. That's why I'm so close to another misfit truck build. But then I'd be in the same boat where I don't have the transmission. Like my IJ is so fast because I have a portal axle trans in it. I need to change the gear on it and it'll be fine. But I think it's just changed the location of the gear. I don't think I really physically need to change anything actually, but just get in there and do it. I had it right the first time. They look square, but they're not quite. That's what it is. Man, that is so close. Jeff and Laura, Alabama, what's going on? I was pretty pumped how this drove today. Any of my buddies on here that like baseball, I want to tell you about a channel I've been following. Justin Fletcher on Facebook. His kid's like 3, and he can switch hit, and he crushes it. It's all so good and hilarious all at once to watch. I found him on Facebook. I your algorithm feeds you what you're into, and I like baseball, so I see a lot of baseball of all ages, and softball stuff comes over, and I get to see a lot of baseball. And I've coached off and on for a long time when my kid was still playing baseball. And so I get a lot of that stuff. So this guy, Justin Fletcher, super nice guy, great dad, coaching his kid up. And it's just brilliant. It'll warm your heart, dude. And you might learn something, all of that. But yeah, man, this little kid, like 3 years old, is throwing out first pitches at like major league games. Like they're starting to get noticed. And they've been on like Good Morning America and like all this stuff. And it's just like the dad, I think, runs one of those, batting cage kind of coaching spots, and he makes bats. And I think they have horses too. And it's just brilliant. If you like baseball, check out Justin Fletcher on Facebook because it's hilarious. They do a great job with the short form content, and the kid crushes it, left-handed and right-handed. The dad, he's talking to a 3-year-old. The dad's telling him how a slider, the kid's like, why do I have to learn how to switch hit? The dad's explaining how a ball breaks on a right-hander, like a slider, curves and stuff. And he's like, well, that's why you want to, hit in the lefty box. The kid gets it, though. Like, he gets it. The dad will ask him questions, and the kid will always know the answer, like. 3 years old and he knows what being early is on a swing. Like the whole thing, dude. It's just so good, man. It's so good. I see a lot of content. I don't engage with most of it, but I really try to like everything I see from those boys. There's a little daughter too, and she is tiny. She is tiny. So you'll see her too, I'm sure, come up. But great little family, man. And it's just brilliant to watch. And it warms me every time. It really does. And ultimately, ooh, that one fits nice. Ultimately, it's not about baseball, but it is. But like, I'm just like, I'm so glad for that kid. Like, those are the kind of memories he's going to have. Look at that. If it's okay, I'll take it. I'm just so happy for that little family, man. Let's see. This one is the left, and this one's the right. And thanks so much for that super chat. Okay, did I bore y'all to tears with the window? Should we do another window? I think what I'll do now is divert tactics slight bit. Still windows, but I'm going to fix the paint I messed up by filing those bits. And I'll mask off this back window and get the weather seal painted on it. And I'll show you how I do it right now. It's very similar to what I did before, actually. It's a little less critical in a way because it just has to do what it's got to do. Sometimes you don't need the whole thing. Nice. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, note to self, when you're peeling the magnets from off your X-Acto, cool your jets so you don't cut the GBs out of your fingers, which I, note to self, about did. So yeah, I just press it in really good around that weather stripping and then cut it. That's the beauty of these bodies, I think, versus Lexan. Because if you were to do the same thing on Lexan, you could potentially score it too much and compromise the strength of the body. There it is. I got 2 little tiny corners to do, but that's it. The straight line on the bottom was easy, so now I need to just do those bottom 2 corners. But yeah, that's it. Then press it back down so you don't get bleed through. I got rid of my drone, Brian. I don't have it anymore. I was afraid the same guy who turned me in for the Ray-Ban logo was going to turn me in on flying a drone to further my YouTube business. So I sold it to Chris Wolf. The RC Geek has it. As a matter of fact, Lee, sold it a couple years ago. All right, here we go. And you don't put the tape on tight until after you've got it in the recesses you're going into. A dull pencil or the back side of your utility knife or fingernail is good to get it in there. And so should you. And then, yeah, kind of will go in with a dull pencil and make it better. Mo better blues. For sure. Oh, that's the wrong end to peel off, dummy. Come on, rhinoflavin. Duh. If I was smart, I would have not trashed the inside cutout because that could have been the glass. Now, my trick on these, once I get it masked, what color paint do you use? The generic answer, look how nice that is. The generic answer is black, but the sun faded bleached out answer is not. It's black brown is the answer. And if you go with the kind of dry brush, you don't have the bleed through. The bleed. Let's see. I should have cleaned this office today, but I actually relaxed. I should have a piece of trash to put paint on. Yes, I do. I do. You can never have too much painter's tape. I'm telling you. True. I should use canopy glue. I need to get some. I always find myself using what I have, which is sometimes CA, which is not forgiving at all. I use German black brown from Vallejo to do my window stuff because it looks black, but it's not. If you look at this front window, it's dark, kind of like black would be if it sat out in the sun a bunch. So I don't do black there. I do black brown. Brilliant, brother. $3D printed chicken? Anyone? That's the rest of my liquid lunch from earlier. So scrap little support pieces is really good for just throwaway pallets. Crazy quad, brother. Nice body, Ryan. I'm meaning the rig. Oh, thanks for clarifying, because I thought at first you were talking about this. I'll put the rig on the chassis here in a second. It fits really great on the new 10 III. It really does. I do have paper towels. So I don't want too wet of a brush. I don't want it to bleed. So I will paint on the, don't paint by the line. Don't paint by the masking line first. Get the wet stuff away from where there's any demarcation, and then you can drag it to where it needs to go. Capiche? Capiche? Caposh. I need to get some more kicker. Every build, I really burn through the CA and kicker. 3D whiskey barrels in the back of that truck, yes. I was thinking too, it's a resto mod deal. So the gas tank could easily be in the bed. Which is nice. All right, let's get where you can see me. See what's happening. I'm enjoying the Project IJs, but I like these kinds of deals tremendously as well. And this one came together really fast for me. I've been thinking about doing one for a while. And the files for this 1957 FC150 were like under $5. I'm like, come on. I did cheat the scale. Once I did the math on the length, the body became so wide, it was just ridiculous. It hid the wheels completely. I actually have the front of the original size. If you guys would like to see it, I'll show you really fast. Because you can see why I cheated it. Sometimes we cheat them the other way, and sometimes we cheat them big, sometimes we cheat them little. This is asinine. Like, by the numbers, this is how wide this rig should be, and still this long. On a 10 scale rig, I thought this was going to be ridiculous. The tires would have been completely hidden inside. I mean, the body is inside. So I cheated. I shrunk it on the width and the height. So it's my own thing, man. It's kind of weird, but I might finish this one out though anyway. This is kind of what they look like. This is very much what they look like before I do my finish work. Like you see all the glue joints and all this business. I always file and fill that stuff. But yeah, this is crazy how big it is. Like You can see the wheels through here if I put the chassis in here. It could run rift axles or Helaman axles, to be honest. Yeah, and the guy whose truck that I was inspired by to finally pull the trigger on this one, he's called on Facebook. Shoot. I'll remind me to look it up. I'll look it up right now. I think he stretched his bed out to make it work on a chassis he had. Oh, Fred. Thank you. Let me see. I stayed off of here today. Justin Fletcher. Yeah, I follow trucks and baseball. Let's see. What was that called, brother? Anyway, it's this FC 150. I'll try to find the name real quick. Because you guys can, I posted up pictures of it before. Actually, that's probably the better thing to do. I can't remember the guy's name, but if you really want to know, ask me later. Let's see if I can find it. Oh my word. That one to me looks longer than the regular ones. And I can see where I followed this guy. So I am pretty sure that the patina we're looking at on this rig was after the fact. It didn't come that way. So I think he stole the fenders off the rear of the other one and made the bed the way he wanted to. You know what I mean? Fabbed it. Yeah, this is way longer than the stock truck. So I feel like mine kind of, emulates this in a decent way. And look at the BFGs. I got the same tires, bro. I think it's fantastic. Here, I'll put up the front picture too. Let's see. I mean, he's trimmed the body and got rid of the stock bumper. I'm keeping mine for now, but I'm happy with it. I probably should have left my height alone, but it's fine, man. It is so fine. You wouldn't know unless I told you that I messed with the scale. More than likely is my opinion. Yeah. So what? Let's see. Here's the paint. Let's go. Let's get after it. You're not going to be able to see me do it. It's okay. I'll show you after. I'm happy with it. I really wanted to get the interior going, but it's like I knew I'd wish I did the windows first. It's pretty neat seeing these when they're done. But I've learned that if I don't get them done before I video it, I maybe won't. And so that's what I'm trying to do. RC Bubble Truck Filippo Original? Man, I don't know what that is. Anybody know? There's some guys on here that definitely might know the answer to that question. So even though I taped it off, I'm still not trying to get it all over the tape. I wish I could let it slide. I see a lot of trucks that they don't do windows on them. And I'm like, how are you letting yourself get away with that? I wish I could. RC Bubble Truck, Filippo Original. Flippo Original. Anybody heard of that? Got one? When I do washes, I use this same color, but I thin it down a bunch, wipe it on, and wipe it off. Seems to work pretty good. When the brush is dry, I don't mind getting it on the tape as much. But a fresh dip, never. You get the inside of the frame. Thanks, Dallas. Are you in Dallas? I love Dallas. I used to go to Grapevine all the time. I had some friends there, still do. at a couple RC flying clubs. I went down there and flew with them. Now I'm dry brushing around the tape, one to grow on. And I'm calling it. Here's the most satisfying thing in RC right here. Here we go. There it is. I'll take it. It's catching light funny on that top piece, but it's there. It looks good. Weather stripping. Boom. How many cars have I painted? Not a lot, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've gotten rid of some, I don't know, 12, 13 maybe, all together. Sold a couple. Yeah, 12, 13 probably. Some Lexan, a bunch of 3D printed ones too. You've done 67? Holy smokes, nice. Yeah, I haven't done that many. I'm an airplane guy, man. I'm kind of new to the cars over the last few years. Chris, you want to see this, how slick it goes on the body, on the chassis? Let's do that. All right, so this is the new Axial 10 III builder's kit, and you can see the rear shock tower and the front shock tower has the provisions for the Coyote clipless mechanism. All right, so there's my mechanism on the bottom and the one in the back. And so I just have to get it on in the front. And then listen to this. Click. That's it. I can pick it up by the body. It's on there so good. And then, yeah, the coup de grace is, there's a million ways you could cover the shock tower up, but I just made a little box, and the screw holes that were already there were perfect for magnets to go. And then my little cover goes on. And that's that. I got some stuff to do up here. I haven't glued on this. I noticed in the pictures I was looking at that there's a screen back there for that engine. So I used an old grill and I shortened it. You can see the seam where I shortened it. But in the back of this rig did not have anything. It was just a flat tailgate. So I made some little pieces and shaped them, and I put on hinges for no reason, just because it looks legit that way. I need to do, there's a couple taillights, one here and one in this other corner that I need to do. This is RC, bro. All my stuff, everything you see here drives. There's videos of them. Yeah, dude, these drive, man. Oh yeah, 7. Yeah. And yeah, the wheels they're good. I know this looks like a low ride height for a crawler, but it works. I put this on my rocks out front and it did fine. But like if I wanted to raise this bed up, Chris, all I would have to do is either bring down the mounts or bring up the shock tower mounts. A couple washers. Yeah, every one of these is an RC that drives. They drive. I mean, look at this giant one behind me. It's a giant. So this is a little long, but this is what they would call a 10 scale crawler. Check this out. This is also a 10 scale crawler. Look how little it looks on that one. This son of a gun's like 30 pounds. And there's a snow blade on it. It pushes snow, dude. It pushes snow. I get my Snowstar sticker. So the graphics here I'll have them for this one as well. And they show up on Monday. You can sit on it and ride it. It's the Axial SCX10. There are videos of people sitting on those, put a tow strap on it, and they pull their side by side out of their garage. No kidding. Dude, I'm into this. It is so ugly. Here, let me turn the lights on because they look good. They look good. Dude, RC has come a long way. Dude, I love how easy this click deal is. All right, battery. I wanted to reuse the mounting system on this because I also wanted to use their battery strap down method as well. I wanted to just retain what I could. I didn't want to have a battery box in the back on this one, if I could help it. Okay. Go ahead and turn it on. Come on, get out of here with that. There, that's the best way to see them. Cool, right? These are the Axial CJ7 lights. You get ambers, whites, and reds. The reds I haven't done yet, but I need to run to the back. They'll come out, one there and one there. I need to figure out the housings, but yeah, man. I like my lenses because you don't see the light bulbs in them. So what I typically do is before I install the lenses, I paint them white on the back, on the inside. And on these, I did a little white and a little yellow because I kind of wanted to old the lenses. I love how this comes undone. So, yeah. I could slap the Coyote body on this right now. Gotta like it. Gotta like it. Oh, Transformer. Whew. I'm not that slick. I wish. So when you're batching it, because your family's out of town and you go get a coffee for liquid lunch, if you're smart, you get two. One for later. One for later. I want to learn CAD so bad. I really need to figure it out. I want classes. I want a classroom. I feel like. My Land Rover back here, Chris, is that one you're talking about? Let me show you. Yes. Okay. We'll let this back end dry up. That looks nice, man. The weather's stripping. Those little details, dude. I've done some projects where I didn't do it, and I always wished I did. And once the glass is on, it's too late. Almost. When I look at this body, I feel like it was a boom racing kit that somebody scanned and made a STL. But I don't know because I haven't built a boom racing kit yet. But this is a 3D printed Land Rover. But I bought the boom racing bumpers and some of the emblems and some of that, like the light package and stuff. And I dig the bumpers and the emblems on here. This was the first 3D printed body I ever put together. Kelly printed these off, all these pieces. It does look just like the boom racing kit. He printed these all off and handed them to me in Ziploc bags. And this was the first kit I put together, which really got my wheels turning on how much potential there was with a little bit of willingness to do the work. So this is on a base camp chassis as well. This was my first time. I tell you what, having to solve these problems really got my head going. So this is a base camp builder's kit. And look how everything is so flat. Like look at the aft end of the chassis, how it's right up against the floor. Everything is as low as I could get it. And so, yeah, this was my first one. And this has the light package and all that. This is a really nice rig. I never run it. I should plug in one to this. I got these tires are kind of smaller, but for a Land Rover, I mean, it does amazing. It does amazing. And yeah, this was my first one, and I did it. I didn't sand a thing on this one. Like when the files aren't very rounded, you can get away with some of that because it doesn't present a lot of lines. And yeah, dude, this one was a big deal. The interior is decent. There's no driver, but I got the rear seats, the front seats, everything. And if I undo my wire ties, I can take the back end roof off. Instead of putting in these windows, I have little tiny wire tie, but I stripped the plastic off of it. And dude, let me get the lights on this though. It's pretty rad. It's like the boom racing light kit. By the time I was done with it, I spent enough money I could have had the boom racing kit, bro. I got to show you my license plate though again, real quick, because it's ridiculous. Yeah, I bought the mud flaps, all the stuff. I need to redo my magnets, but oh wait, is there a button? I was gonna say, look at that license plate. Does it look like $1? It is $1. Yeah, mud flaps, brother. Yeah, base camp, brother. I never did a video on this one, but those lights are bright. I need to reglue my little magnets on. It was a bear to get all the wiring up in here. But there it is. Yeah, dude, I went nuts. It's got the boom racing metal bumpers and mud flaps and lights. The scale trucks, I like it with lights on them. It's just kind of nice. And yeah, you can see in the dark. And some of these have rock lights too. So you got even more going on. The batteries, if you have a good charger, you can charge a battery in 15, 20 minutes and it'll run for an hour or so. On the rock crawlers, don't go very fast, so they don't gobble up the the power. So they last quite a while on the crawlers. But all of the 3D prints I've done, except the Ford F-150 or the F-250 1969, I've done lights in. And I already sold the F-250. But yeah, and I always do the same thing. I fog out the lenses because I don't want to see through. I don't want to see the bulb. If the lens is this big, but then you just see the little tiny focused bulb, I'd rather diffuse it. So I fog out the headlights and the tail lights. It's been a blast, man. It has. It has. Thanks, Dallas. You just gotta have lights, man. On the scale stuff, yeah, man. Like, I'm not worried about it on some of the performers, but the scale stuff, yeah. And you can't see the giant trimmers truck that's behind the Scout, but that thing's fantastic. So is the little one. It's RC, bro. It runs. License plate floor, leaf springs. This one's leaf spring. Most of these are coilovers, but pretty fun. That's wood on the tailgate, and that's real diamond plate on the bumper and chains. You just have to have lights, man. You do. And there's videos of this stuff running on the channel. There's videos of the big ones and the little ones. The neighbor's still looking for his license plate. I desert dusted this one. But a lot of these are firsts for me. Yeah, man. The fastest car you've seen? I mean, I had the Felony, the Arma Felony. That thing goes like 85 out of the box. That's the one I really want, Chris says. Which, the Trimmer's truck? The big one or the little one's dad's? I'd make another one if somebody wanted one bad enough. The thing that you guys don't realize is you think I'm slick on computers, but I'm actually not. Like, it will be like making it brand new again from scratch. But I've learned so much since I did the first one, the little one. Bro, just let me show you the big one. I mean, this is a nice one. I learned a lot since I did the first one. Dude, it's got fuzzy dice and everything. Yeah, man. I'm pretty proud of some of these. And on this one, the battery goes in there. Yep. You don't need another SCX6. Love it, brother. Love it. And this one's lit up too, dude. All these lights work. Pretty big. So they end up being a ton of finish work. Ton. Yep, a ton. Well, I've kept you guys 2 hours. That's probably about enough. I'm going to keep working on something. Probably nerd out on the windows some more. I could take the IJ apart and fix the gear. You guys want to do that real quick? Why not? Let's do it. It's too fast. I want to fix it. Let me find my bits. I know I'm going to need a 2mm. There's a 1.5. There's a 2.5. I was just looking at it. There it is. 2. Yeah, man. Let me get into this transmission on this one, dude. This is a 3D printed Jeep body on a base camp. And it's a straight axle rig, but it's got a portal axle transmission. And so, according to the book, it's just where you put this one gear. I don't think it needs to be changed, but we're going to investigate it and find out. This thing drove for the first time the other day. It's pretty awesome. It's just too fast. Magnetic hood. Okay. There's that. Everything's hooked up. The only thing I got to unravel is the I don't know too much about it, but I would leave it there. Nice little conversation piece. What, the super fast transmission? What are you talking about? I want to get into that gear. Because it should just be a matter of location. You're going to talk me into leaving it fast, brother. All right, you guys, here's how you vote. $5 super chats. I'm kidding, don't. Vote in the chat, all 1,800 of you. Dig into the transmission and move the gear or keep it fast. I don't think it's a different size gear. I will look in the manual once again. We'll just leave this here for a second until I see all the super chats come in. It still crawled fine. So, I mean, I can always slow it down in the radio. It doesn't have to be, you know. And this is basically a misfit chassis. Leave it fast. Well, that's okay. I mean, I can do that. I've got plenty of other stuff that I could work on. I need to run the lights on this thing. All right, where's the book? I don't think it's a different part. I don't want to open a new book. Like, I know I have like 1 million of these books out somewhere. Where's the book? I've only got 5 of them around. I just don't want to open up the one brand new manual that I have in a bag still. Hold on. I know. It's over here. There it is. SCX30. Okay, so there is no different part number from what I could tell for the different gear. It literally just shows compound gear for portal axles. I'm telling you, all you have to do is flip the gear. So what you're saying about different size, I think is correct. Google doesn't know. I had to look this up the other day and it was nothing. I got nowhere. So if you look at this graphic, not included, optional. So it is a different gear. It's a different gear and it goes in a different spot. These two down here on the bottom. You can see the different spot, but apparently it is a different gear, which I think is weird. Not included, optional. Yeah, and there's an extra little idler gear as well. Then I'm leaving it alone for sure because I don't have, there's no reason if I don't have the stuff. It's fine. Okay, well, that's cool. That's done. Put it back together then. I'm glad I didn't take it all away apart. But that's why this one's fast, because I bought a base camp already pre-built transmission from RC Chop Shop, and it's from a base camp RTR, and the RTR are portal axle, but the kits are straight axle. And with the kit, you don't get the portal bits because you don't need them. I do remember the Coyote came with extra gears, and I think it's to make it straight axle. But obviously, it's not what I did. Obviously. Okay. I'm not really ready to do the light kit yet on this. Let's see. So we'll just set it on with the magnets. I'll not screw it on until I'm done with the lights, but this thing's pretty rad. If the Coyote came with them, then you have the gear set to change it. Yeah. I'd have to find them first. It's okay. I'll turn it down on the radio. It's fine. It's fine. I got more I want to do anyway on the FC150. Windows and interior, I got to get that sorted. I've got my driver here in bits that I need to put together and paint. Mocked up on a seat. So I printed off a couple drivers. These are the CJ7 files driver, which was perfect size-wise for what I'm doing. And I printed off a couple because I'm going to probably end up with one in the Vanquish rig as well. I kind of want to do the drivers on the optic also for the optic. It's kind of basic as it is. But yeah, there's the armless guy. And if you wanted him to work, you put a servo in the back and you can make his head turn. I've done that before, but usually I don't. And I just use this driver because he's perfect. And this is the same driver I use in my big rigs. I just make him huge. So I need to figure out what I need to size him up to for the big IJ also. And I usually will paint the arms and then everything before I assemble the thing. And assembly's not too bad. You use winch line if you have it, and you thread it through the arms and hands, and then once you get the string through the shoulder cup, you put the string over the ball and glue it on, and that's what holds it. And then his arms move with the steering wheel. The steering wheel, if you want, has a mechanism that turns, so his arms move with that, and then his head moves on its own servo if you want to do that. The moving drivers are kind of cool. I need to do it to one of the big trucks, though, because when I've done it to the small ones, you don't really see it. My CJ7 driver moves. I could show you guys. Actually, probably need to bind that up. I don't think it's on my new radio. That sucks. Dude, the leaning out of the car is what's up. And if I was going to ever FPV these trucks, I would totally want the guy to be able to look out, lean out and look down at the front tire. Well, the back tire too, if you could, to see where things are getting placed. Yeah, those are awesome. Fred's truck's got the International he got from me. He's got a moving driver guy in it. So I go crazy. I'll sand these guys' little hands and arms sometimes too. I'm nuts. And like I was saying, like if you don't paint them before you put them in, you never will. My CJ7 interior has never been painted. It's all gray. I need to paint that. That's why I printed off a couple of these drivers. I'm like, I'll paint a few at the same time. That may be a good project for tonight, to be honest. Yeah, I mix custom colors with whatever I have to make the skin. And that's kind of hard to get it right. Maybe we will bind up my CJ to the good radio right now. And I'll show you the driver move. So what do you guys think? Would you make a FC150 the right size or just rock the one you got? That one I started is awfully big if I go for it. It will be awfully big. Yeah, with the Night Customs, you get the STLs, but you also get the G codes like already laid out for the perfect orientation. And it really prints off nice fidelity wise when you do the G codes. The 3MF file is what it's called on Bamboo. But you can, if you want to size them up, you have to go with the STL. But you can still go with the stock orientation, so to speak. So he won't stay together, but there's the arm. Mocked up. But I'm not going to string them together yet because it's easier to paint them separate. But yeah, he moves at the shoulder and the elbow and the wrist. So these guys are fantastic for using in other projects. And I got one where when I did the Fab Rats Willie's wagon, I printed off one of these guys just a little bit smaller. And because of the way the interior was, I had to heat up his leg and bring his knee up and bend his leg back and stuff. And you can do it. Just a little heat and you can do it. It's pretty cool. Let's look at this CJ7 really quick. They did IJ bodies for the SCX6s with the mod doors. Nice. I need to finish that too. I need to finish that as well. So this is the same driver, except it's got the Jaws Richard Dreyfuss guy on it. Let's see where I set the radio, man. Yeah, I don't think I got this one on here, which means I got to screw with aux channels and everything. Nope. He's not on here. Let me see if I can't locate the radio that it's on because I want to see the settings. The Minimax? I don't have one, so it's hard to know. Maybe I just leave it on this Pro. Oh, good. I think it's on here. I'm just going to show you with this radio, brothers. That's fine. Having more than one radio is not the end of the world. That way, if one quits the bed, you got another one. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll do. That's what we'll do. I mean, I enjoyed the Traxxas stuff when I was at the shop and I was able to get my hands on it. I like it. You know, it was fine. It was fine. So this is the OG CJ7 with the Night Custom interior and moving driver. But instead of Matt's head, I used Richard Dreyfuss. And sometimes I like to do a little trick. So these hobby wings all have the XT60 connector. You can fit your IC3s on them, but it's tight. So I'll heat up the plastic and then jam it in. And it makes it a lot easier to plug in the next time. Let's see. I don't have his head stuff plugged in, apparently. Dude, this thing has rock lights. The axial rock lights you can cycle through to different colors, which is kind of nice. Or off. And let's see. I think last time I drove him, I left him unplugged, is what it is. There he is. Ha! Okay, so now the wheel and the wheels on the bus go round and round. So I'm sure I got stuff all goofy here. Oh yeah, the battery does not go there. That was the problem. There. Everything fitting, basically. Yeah. Yep. So now if I really wanted to fix it, the wheel turns the wrong way with his hands, but I don't care because I have to use up a whole nother channel I don't have if I want to fix that. But it's easy to fix. I fixed it on Fred's rig. But yeah, man, this one's hobby winged out. I lowered the shocks. This one's, it's a nice one. Do they come in a 4-pack or just 2? What, the rock lights? It's 4, if that's what you're asking. Brushless, brother. So good. Okay. That's that. So the CJ is awesome. By the way, I had to have it. They got them re-released, which is really cool. And So now you can get one. But yeah, when you get this, it sits up like this. So I put the shocks down with the link position and dropped it for free for about half an inch for free, which is cool. It's a nice one. Then Richard Dreyfuss is doing a good job in there. Yeah, the Axial rock lights, they're nice. Again, you don't need any special driver for them. You just plug them in. Now I can one-handed get that off the XT60, which is cool. I did take a good rig and make it a little worse by adding the heavier interior and stuff. Like the stock one is really good. I'm not going to lie. But I wanted to do the driver guy. So I did. And I didn't glue him to a seat. So I can easily paint him. And I need to. But instead, I'll grab a $5 1957 FC150 file and just make a new truck. That's what I'll do. Yeah, dude, I like the CJ. I had to have it. And for a stock rig, there's not a lot of stock rigs that come with bead locks. But the CJ7 is bead locks. So you can, if you want metal rims, you can take off those Mickey Thompsons that come with it, stock, and put them on something else, which is kind of neat. Yeah, dude, the CJ7 and the FJ45 Phoenix was my best two performers for the longest time. And now there's others that are in the running for that. But fantastic rig. I love how you can drop it for like four different screws, and you can drop it about a half inch for free, which instantly improves the performance. Our Snap-on guy stopped shop. The old guy wouldn't order the Traxxas stuff for us, would only do raffles. Order me any RC truck you want. Nice. But going from a scale of 1/10, I wonder what the weight ratio would be for. Yeah. Well, the stock CJ doesn't have that driver and the drop bed and the heavier duty everything that can accommodate the steering, the servos to make it work. But dude, the new rust color, like bronze CJ, holy smokes. It looks good. It's hard for me not to get one. To be honest, I actually really prefer the low center of gravity transmission that we see on the Base Camp, the Coyote, and the SR5. So part of me wants a CJ body on the new 10 III. But you'll lose a ton of your floor. Your interior will be demolished by the time you make it fit. So just make an IJ and live with it is, I think, the best answer there. Yeah, Brian, I'm sorry I don't quite understand it. I'm trying to answer it. The sprint car, that thing looks killer, dude. But it's like, would you drive it if you had it? Or is it a shelf queen? The 1920 sprint car is rad. It really is. I like the Losi sprint car because if I had one, I'd want to race it. You would drive it? Yeah. They're cool, dude. They're rad looking. So nice looking. Well, my people are going to be home in about an hour. So I don't know. I think I'm going to split here in a sec. But I wanted to show you guys the new rig, and I'm super close to being done on it. Brushless out of the box, and comes with battery and charger. That's cool. That's cool. I think they want a mint for it, but it is a neat one. It is neat. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep on with the windows so I can get this interior done on the FC150 and call that one a wrap. It's so close. I got a little bit more patina work I want to do on it, but yeah. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, so last minute anything, man, lay it on me because I am on a splits, I guess, here in a second. Let me put the new one back together real quick. The paint is dry enough to start messing with it on the weather seal. I'm over the moon how this fits, though. Truly. It's so rad, bro. Even when the wires are in the way, it'll work. Here's the beauty right here. Click. And once I get the interior done in the front, it won't be so flexy. Right now, I just have this one piece down the middle, but I built all this bracing for it. And once the other floor comes in on both sides, it'll firm it up. Right now, that's all it is that gray strap down the middle is what's holding the mount on. But once I get my sides in, it will firm it up quite a bit. The back is dialed, and there's really hardly any lateral side to side with that mechanism, but whatever little bit there was, I printed these off to slide right in between the top of those shocks and the sidewall of the bed. So there's like even less side to side with that. Yeah, I had to do the back tailgate, dude. It was just flat. I was like, dude, I got to do something back there. Once I get the lights on there, it'll look cool. And this is what it is. Kind of weird, but drives nice, and it's a chassis that I can use for anything, especially if I go with that Coyote body mounting. Like that body will fit on the Portal rig right now, which is kind of neat. If I wanted to use this for something else, because it is a little weird. I got high clearance links on a bread box. you know. But oh well, I mean, it works. Like if I had a base camp builder's kit and I just wanted to burn up like a brushless power system that I have laying around, I would want the new shock towers so I could use these bits. And because when you buy the Coyote mount business, you get this, the roof piece, and the stuff that I've used on the rig. So the thing in the front is supposed to screw to this. Well, I didn't need it. That's the roof thing on the Coyote. I don't need this. Already had that. And already had this. You end up with spares, man. I could have a pegboard full of axial parts right now. Yeah. Good times. Good times. This one's a little bit of a surprise, man. I wasn't sure I was going to do it. And then I was tired of messing with the IJ. So I was like, let's do it. It looks good. It did all my rocks. It did every one of the front yard thing I do. It did them all. It did them all. This ugly thing. Now it looked like it wanted to tip over a couple times, but it did it. And it just means you have to drive better. You just have to plan ahead. But with a rig like this, the body is the bump stop. I mean, it is what it is. The tire gets into it eventually, but I can go wider on the tires. There's all kinds of things I can do if I really want to make this perform. But I mean, it's always going to have a ridiculously long front and rear. So it is what it is, you know, and I'm okay with it. I think inside those grills, I need to go dark, by the way. That's actually a good idea while I have the paint out. But yeah, next time you see this should have an interior on it. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, this one was fun. It's there's a part of me that wants to make the big version, you know, the super scale one, but it's like, man, this works so good for the platform I built it for that I think I'm going to be okay with that. So thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. And we're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom.